Vincent, I thought I was. I was with her. It was so real.
Breathe, Matt. You're back with me. What happened in your flashback?
We need to focus on what's ahead. Don't worry about it, I'm fine. Really. Just needed a moment. Let's keep moving.
Alright, if you're sure. But don't push yourself too hard, okay? We're in this together.
Vincent, opposite to what you think. Getting hurt is the least of my concerns. I feel like there is something behind this metal door. I'll try something new.
Matt stood in front of a thick metal door, blocking his path. His eyes narrowed as he focused on the door, knowing he had no time to waste. He took a deep breath, and the air around him begins to shimmer with heat. Dark ash starts to swirl around his mouth, glowing with an intense orange hue.
Let's see how you handle this.
Matt muttered and released his powers from his mouth. The metal starts to sizzle and bubble and a section of the door begins to warp and soften. Matt channels more power, the ash now burning white as it eats through the metal.
There we go. Never thought I'd like the smell of burning metal.
Matt kicks up the weakened metal door, still glowing from where he melted it with his ashes. He steps through the opening, Vincent close behind him. They enter a pitch-black room, the air thick with the smell of chemicals and something more sinister.
What is this place? Smells like a rat's nest in here.
No, worse. It's where they cook up their poison.
The lab was a cramped, suffocating space, where the dim lighting barely pierced through the haze of chemical fumes that hung in the air. Long metal tables, cluttered with beakers, burners, and half-empty containers of volatile substances, dominated the room.
This isn't it. There's something more. Let's keep moving.
The door creaks open, revealing a stark, dimly lit corridor leading into a larger room. As they step inside, the air grows colder, heavier with despair. Before them lies a prison. Rows of grimy, rusted cells line the walls, and each one barely big enough to stand in. As Matt and Vincent walk through the dimly lit hallway, the echoes of their footsteps bounce off the walls and the air is heavy with the residue of the chemical smells from the lab, but a fresh breeze makes them feel that they are getting closer. As they approach the end of the hallway, they noticed a figure slumped against the wall near an open door leading outside. The man was disheveled, his clothes torn and dirty, as if he had been through hell. Matt stopped a few feet away, cautious but curious.
Hey, you all right? What happened?
I got out. They were holding us, back there, in the cells. I thought I was gonna die in there.
But you made it out. Vincent, help him. He is gonna collapse any time.
I got you, man. Tell us. What happened?
Vincent held the man close so he wouldn't fall to the ground.
You've got to help the others. There's more of us. They're still in there. Please, don't let them die in there.
I'm going to get them out. Stay here, don't go back inside.
Matt raced down the corridor, his footsteps pounded against the floor as he headed towards the security room.
There's got to be a way to open all the cells from here. Come on. Think.
Matt quickly turns his attention to a row of levers below the monitor. Matt yanks the corresponding lever, and with a loud mechanical whir, the control panel begins to light up with various indicators. The cell doors on a monitor flash as they start to unlock. A group of prisoners approaches Matt. Their faces show a mix of exhaustion, relief, and gratitude. Some of them are too weak, leaning on each other for support, but their eyes are fixed on Matt with a newfound hope.
We owe you our lives. If you hadn't come, I don't even want to think about it. I just want to leave this behind.
I don't know how we can ever repay you. You saved us from that nightmare.
Thank you. Thank you for getting us out of there. I thought it was the end.
Wait, before we go any further, did any of you see a woman named Elizabeth? Was she with you? Captured in the cells? I have a picture of her with me. You can look.
As Matt urgently questions the group of prisoners, asking if they've seen Elizabeth, their faces turn somber. A heavy silence falls over the corridor, and a cold dread creeps into Matt's soul.
Elizabeth. She never came with us. She wasn't taken by the cartel. I never saw a woman among us.
Then where is she? What happened?
One of the prisoners seemed reluctant to speak, but finally, he forced the words out as his voice trembled.
I remember, when the cartel took us, there was an explosion. A bridge. They said they couldn't bring any more people. And then the blast that destroyed the bridge happened. Oh God. They didn't bring her with us because she didn't make it.
No. She's not.
Determined, Matt begins methodically checking each cell, the echoes of his footsteps reverberating off the cold, metal bars. The cells are small and cramped, each one a pitiful testament to the suffering endured by those who were held here. But cell after cell, room after room, there's nothing but emptiness. The emptiness starts to echo within him. He stands there, frozen, as the reality sets in. Elizabeth is gone, and she had been taken from him in the most brutal way. The fire inside him burns hotter than ever, but now it's fueled by a deep, searing pain. A pain so deep it bellows. Nothing will ever be the same again.
Matt. I know this is hard. I can see how much you care about her. I'm really sorry.
You did everything you could, Matt. Sometimes, no matter how hard we fight, things don't turn out the way we hope. But what you've done, it means something. You showed bravery and heart.
We all saw how much you cared. You didn't just come here to fight, you came to save someone you really cared for. That's something not many would do. Especially in these dark times.
Everything happens for a reason. That's what Martin's always said. But what's the reason for this? Why did Elizabeth have to? Why did this have to happen?
Matt, I know you're struggling with this right now. It's hard to see any reason behind what's happened, especially when it feels so unjust and painful. It's okay to hurt, Matt. It's okay to grieve. You've been through so much, and you've done everything you could.
I was supposed to understand that everything is futile, that no matter how hard I tried, it didn't even matter. For God's sake.
We owe you our freedom. And we're here for you, just as you were here for us. We'll face whatever comes next together.